I'm Hockey Honey. I skate for the Ole Rollers out of Olympia, Washington. I've been playing derby for about 3 years on and off. I'm a transfer from Jet City. Also, I skated briefly with Rose City and Dallas Derby Devils. My number 7, I absolutely could not stand when I was a kid. I did not want to be number 7, and they kept making me because in rink hockey you could only have 1 through 10, and goalies were 1 in 10, so there's very limited numbers. And I kept getting it in ice hockey and roller hockey. I don't know what was going on, but finally I was like, yes, I like number 7. And I can't remember a particular way I got it, but I was pretty much stuck with it, and now I have it tattooed. I absolutely love number 7. Actually, for the world team, I had to fight for it a little bit because there were two of us number 7s on the rink hockey world team, and luckily I was a little older, ranked a little higher. I was good. I was a little nervous. I came to Ole mostly because I already played hockey with them, so I was very familiar with, Sassy and Tannable, and it was great competition. They were also very understanding about my hockey. Hockey's number 1. It's always been the number 1 sport for me. Derby's just something, I happen to be good at, and I just really like to skate. So they understand that I can't make every practice. I have to go to hockey sometimes too. Well, it's very interesting, actually, the differences between, the personalities of hockey and derby. Number 1 is, in hockey, I'm one of the only girls. At practices, at games, I tend to play with men's teams, men's leagues. So it's just a whole different ball game. You have that beer league, good old buddy hockey, and then derby is it's for women by women. So it took a little bit of getting used to. Derby for me is the ice hockey for women. Women in ice hockey are always looked down upon. They're kind of second best. There's no pro. They kind of always are second-class citizens. And with derby, we're number 1, and it's like kind of Murby's the second-class citizen. So it's nice to have that change of, our gender's number 1. A lot of my hockey guys always are, they just want to see the short skirts and girls hitting each other. That's always the questions I get. I found that the hockey guys, they understand, but they don't really care. I mean, they have those people that really love hockey. That's kind of I don't know if that's the best way to say it, but it's cool that I play another sport, but they just love hockey. Derby people almost always want to come see me play. They're very interested because I'm such a strong skater. In derby, they want to see what my background is. So a couple weeks ago, a bunch of derby people, I had this huge crowd come out and cheer me on in ice hockey, and they put Hockey Honey on their shirts. So HO, and all spread out, and it was really funny because none of the guys understood, because it's basically like we're yelling hockey at them. They didn't know my derby name was Hockey Honey, and so they'd be like, Hockey Honey, and the guys were like, yeah, what are they yelling? So it was very entertaining. As a skater, I actually love playing derby because I don't dress up very much. I'm a sporty girl. I like to just put my hair in a ponytail and go. And every derby bout, I think since I started playing, I curl my hair, I put on my makeup, and I like to look like a girl when I play. Hockey, I just hope for the best. I just hop right on out there. As far as, I think the appeal, definitely. I mean, sex sells. So I think a lot of the appeal is there. I also like that different shapes and sizes and colors. In derby, it doesn't matter. People, it doesn't matter to people. It's just they come out to watch, and I think it helps that people are dressed that way. But, I found that with Jet City, when I played with Jet City, we would go at 10 a.m. the morning of the bout, when a bout starts at about 6 or 7, and we would lay down the entire track. We'd set up all the booths. We'd do everything. I mean, it took an entire league of girls, 80 girls, to get a bout taken care of. It always went really smoothly, though, and I always felt like Jet City's productions were really, really good. Ole, we're kind of grassroots. We love Skateland and we love the rink there, and it's always real small, but I've found that the best derby isn't always the biggest production. We do parades, to kind of promote ourselves. We do fundraisers. We do pancake feeds and things like that, which are always a lot of fun. We do public appearances sometimes. It kind of goes back and forth depending. We also, like this weekend for the 9/11 bout, we're going to come out before our bout and meet with, our fans and kind of just all have a moment of remembrance for 9/11. So I think that coming together as a team outside of Derby is sometimes really nice. Ole has really small town bouts, but sometimes those are the best bouts. You feel like every single person in that building can see you as a player and really enjoy you skating. Whereas the bigger bouts, sometimes, people are goofing off in the stands and not really watching the game. Well, I started coaching when I was about 14. I would just coach the little in-house roller skating leagues for the kids. And I would just, kind of show them how it's done and just let them go out and play and hope for the best. It only went up from there. I started coaching more teams. I've coached rink hockey since I was about 14, so almost 10 years now. And I started coaching ice hockey when I was about 18. I do private lessons, group lessons, teams. Right now, I'm really trying not to coach any teams because I just can't make that kind of commitment. I did coach the I-5 roller girls. I was also, when I was with Jet, I was coaching the B-52s, their B team, their B travel team. And I do it all. I love to coach, and if there's ever a chance for me to coach on a more professional level and really do that as a living, that would be a dream come true. I've been skating at a very high level for the last 10 years, so I think eventually I'll put Derby and hockey a little bit more to the wayside so that I can actually have a life. I have to say, especially with the travel, because I'm up here in Everett and Ole's, quite the commute, I have almost no time. And I think it's really affected my relationships. I've gotten a lot of Derby friends and a lot of hockey friends, but otherwise I don't have a lot of outside close friends, as well as relationships. I'm really, not so good at those when you're never home. I was in a relationship for about 3 years and it kind of deteriorated, I really would say, because of skating. I think in 2 or 3 years, Derby's going to be more athletic. More and more I see upper level teams becoming competitive teams. I mean, before it was like you dressed up and put on the pads and hit girls and hoped for the best. But now people are training, people are preparing, regionals and nationals. It's going to be a really competitive year, I think. And 2 or 3 years from now, hopefully, kids teams will be that way. We'll be growing as a whole and able to do ESPN style stuff and really grow the sport rather than, we'll develop more from the grassroots, I think, that we are right now. I found that with girls that have grown up skating their whole lives, it comes much more naturally. And it's a little hard at first because you just want to skate. You don't want to learn the rules. You don't really care about the rules. You just want to go around in a circle and hit people. And I really had to I still have trouble with my forearms and my elbows. I found girls that never skated before struggle with the skating. It's not the rules that are the problem. It's not the tactics. It's the skating. And you'll find that the weaker leagues in Derby, especially in Wiftida, the weaker leagues are the ones that can't really skate. They can know the game like the back of their hand, but I think why Ole is so successful is that we all know how to skate. Well, today is the third day of RollerCon, and I'm here coaching, playing, and interacting with hundreds of Derby guys and girls. It's been awesome so far. I really enjoyed the coaching, love the skating. There's been some great bouts. Basically, I was playing with Ole Rollers through nationals of last year, and we placed second, which was great. It was a great season. I really, really enjoyed my first year WFTDA and my first regionals and first nationals. And then I got hired on at Adam Wheels, which they relocated to Arizona. And I said I'd go down there and try it out and skate with AZRD and see how that went. Ultimately, it wasn't the right fit with Adam Wheels and AZRD. So after I quit Adam, I kind of explored my options and ultimately ended up in San Diego, where I currently live. And I'm playing with San Diego Roller Derby, and I'm on their travel team, the Starlets. Well, ultimately, I wasn't happy in Arizona, so I was debating between Portland, actually, where my family, my dad and stepmom and my mom and stepdad live, or San Diego, because, you know, might as well go scope it out where the boyfriend's at. And I just decided, you know, San Diego's a new place, and I really actually liked the Starlets and the program that he runs there. He's the coach and the president of the league there. His name is Singh, and so I loved his program. He really actually has an Ole style of skating where we skate a lot. And I found at other leagues that it was less about skating and more about the nitpicky rules, and I feel like sometimes we skip over those basic steps that you need to be really good skaters to be good derby players. And so I love the style, I love the energy. I know they're not WFTDA, but I'm okay with that. I still think they're pretty darn competitive. We're playing Angel City in August, and although it's not sanctioned, it's still a pretty high-level game. You know, they're top 10 in the West. So we're getting good games in. I'm getting my competitive streak out there. But otherwise, it would have been Portland, definitely, because my family's up there. And, you know, Washington was okay, but I went to college in Portland, so I have some ties there. No, they skate WFTDA rules, although they're USARS insured. And I believe USARS is putting on regionals and nationals this year, so I'm guessing that we might check out one or the other. I'm wondering if Ole might not do the same, because with the way the rules are, they could play WFTA regionals and nationals, and they could play USARS regionals and nationals because of who they're insured by. They did that a lot with inline hockey. There was like NARCH nationals and then USARS nationals, and teams would play both. So I think that would be really interesting, because I like the USARS rule set of it really does promote more skating, less roller derby as it's being called. And I'm a strong proponent of skating. I do not like standing there and doing nothing, for sure. Hockey will always be my #1 sport. It will. Whether I'm playing it or not, I love hockey. And once people make fun of me because of the smile on my face when I play hockey. And Brett plays hockey too. And so we will just like dink around after derby practice and play a little hockey. So I still get my fix, but ultimately I'm definitely a hockey honey. True and true. I've been on the U.S. rink hockey team for the last 5 years, and back in '08, we placed the highest that any U.S. team has ever placed, either men or women's. And I was a starter on that team. I was, that core group of really experiencing winning at a high level. And I think since then it's been a struggle. We have not had strong teams, and we haven't really had a chance to practice. Funding has gone way down, and we're paying for everything all by ourselves. So I realized that although I'd love to keep playing, ultimately I'm just kind of spinning my wheels. I've really accomplished what I set out to do in rink hockey, and that was to really be the best that we could be, and going against teams that train every day, year round, and that some of these girls are paid to play overseas. We really did very well. So I had to make the hard choice this year to quit the world team and focus a little bit more on skating and I think derby in general. So it's a little sad. I'm not gonna lie. I'm still gonna play hockey. I'll still go to nationals probably next year, because it's not really. I've done it for so long, for the last 13 years of my life. So, but no more world team. Time to shuffle and redeal. It was really well run for the coaches. It made my life really easy. The students were really responsive. I had, it's a little frustrating with 80 people. It's hard to give one-on-one attention, but I did seem to find a way that ultimately I talked to every single skater, and I felt like I accomplished something by doing that, because from what I've heard in the past, a lot of people complain about no individualized attention. These girls wait 2 hours before the class. When I came in, I'd seen like Facebook statuses. My class was at 10 on Wednesday, and people have been waiting since like 7. Like, why would you sit for 3 hours? But that's awesome, and I hope I gave them a good class. I think the best thing about coaching is when someone says they took away at least one thing away from my class, because ultimately everyone has different styles, but sometimes we're all just saying the same things in a different way. And so if they took away something and they're gonna keep it and use it for the rest of their skating career, that's where I feel the best. And a lot of times people come up to me at the end of classes and say, hey, you really helped me. You changed my perspective for the better. And that is the biggest compliment. I love coaching. If I could coach full time, and especially the newer skaters, the better. I feel like they're just ripe for molding. And with as much skating experience and diverse skating background, I love to share that knowledge. You know, I definitely like the way it's going. It's nice to have someone who skates and who is a high-level skater that pushes me as a skater and that gives me the opportunity to kind of like vent my frustrations in skating, and he understands. In the past, I really didn't have that, you know. It's just like, oh, it'll be fine. And so now it's nice to kind of share that love of skating, ultimately, not even just derby, but of skating. So, yeah, I could see it happening. I have since, I don't know, I was 12, have always wanted to have a family and have kids, and I want little kids that roller skate and then before they stand up. And so I definitely plan on the next couple of years settling down a little bit. It's what I've wanted to do. But I'll keep playing. I'll probably skate while I'm pregnant. Who knows? I love to roller skate, so it'll never be out of my life. Thank you.